toxic masculinity.
Is there a next story?
Oh, that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. We are done with the news. I'm happy about that. Okay, darling.
Yes.
Would you like to read questions and comments?
Yes, I do.
All right.
First super chat from Lainey Buchner, Buehner.
Uh-huh.
You are one of my favorite YouTubers. Just wanted to say I appreciate your videos.
Oh, that's the most lovely thing ever. What's her name?
Lenny?
Huh?
Laney?
Lenny?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably a guy.
Lenay.
That's probably a guy. I was saying she. That's still a lovely thing to say. Thank you, Lenny.
I think it's a girl.
Oh, it is a girl. Okay, well, thank you, Lenny. Either way,
I think.
a very charming, wonderful thing to say. We very much appreciate hearing things like that. You know, I've been doing this show for quite a long time, and I do get people writing nice comments, but they never get old. I'm very flattered when people like my show and people say nice things. One thing that I struggled with a lot when I first started the show was the stress of trying to respond to everybody, because people say such nice things and people are so and there's so many cool people. Like the people that watch my show, I think, are actually the best people on YouTube. So I always want to be friends with everybody, and there's just too many thousands of people that watch the show. So I got to the point where I was actually like psychologically having problems because I'm feeling obliged to respond to everybody. I can't. So, but it's always nice when I can respond and talk to people. And yeah, I kind of stopped responding to any emails. I've stopped responding to any messages on Facebook or Twitter because it just got too overwhelming for me. So if you've ever written me on Facebook or Twitter and I didn't respond, I am very sorry. It wasn't that I didn't want to or that I was trying to ignore people. It was that it became so overwhelming. I actually had to make a decision just to not read so many messages. I will read the emails. If somebody sends me an email, I'll read an email actually, but not from social media sites. All right. The next comment or question. What do you get?
Next super chat from PNWRX15.
Uh-huh.
Says, imagine losing to a trainee.
It's a transgender.
Yeah.
Transgender. Imagine losing to it. Why would you put that in a super chat? Okay, it did make me laugh, I will admit, but
Okay.
let's go to the next one. Jeez.
Okay. Next one.
Yep.
Jeffrey Adams.
Yes.
My words matter because I'm willing to pay for them.
That's right. Well, that's think about the super chats. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Sebastian Gorka. Gorka was saying, don't you get some money for the super chats? That's kind of nice. And I'm like, yeah, I do get money for the super chats, but I actually don't like getting money for the super chats because when I'm doing this live show, that to me, that isn't actually the purpose. The purpose isn't because I can get money through views from the show or through ads from my Mr. Reagan show. I don't need money from the super chats. That's actually, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to see at the end of the show, I got $100 or whatever it was. But I would actually prefer to have a free and open conversation with everybody. But one thing that super chats do, which are nice, is that they have a nice, beautiful color, and you can see them obviously, and then it draws your eye, and I can indicate the people who really, really want to write something or really want to get something expressed. And so your comment, although it's facetious and a little bit snarky, there is some truth in that. If you're willing to pay to say something, you will get heard, on any YouTube channel. And I think it does work better because you can't read every comment in the chat, but you can read the super chats. They're very obvious, they're very clear. But if you don't want to pay for a super chat, but you still want me to read something, if you can write at Toxic Masculinity, I'll try to see it. Can you see that when they do that? You can't. So that's the problem. Valeria reads them, but she doesn't have access to that. But I can see if they're orange, and I'll try to read them. Like a Taku Magnet here says, I will repost a link about Jenner regretting his sex change during a Q&A. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Well, too late.
Yeah. She's so cold, isn't she? She's so cold. All right, let's read the next one.
Patron Daniel.
Oh.
Greetings from North Carolina. I'm on vacation visiting family. Floyd overdose police officer will be acquitted, acquitted,
Acquitted.
acquitted. Free the kitty.
What's the last word?
Free the kitty.
Free the kitty. Free? Free the
Yeah.
kitty?
Kitty.
Okay, well,
He's here.
he's not in the bathroom today. He's just sitting on the bed here chilling. So he's good. He's been good.
Chilling.
That's pretty funny. So yeah, no, I see. Yeah, he agrees with me that Derek Chauvin will be acquitted, and yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Thank you, patron Daniel, or as Valeria calls you, Patriot Daniel. I think I like Patriot Daniel better. I think we'll call him Patriot Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joy Sullivan. No, Sullivan. I don't know. Joey, sorry. Congrats.
Oh, Joe Sullivan. Joe Sullivan.
Sullivan?
Sullivan.
Sullivan. Okay. Sullivan.
There's a movie called Sullivan's Travels. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's with Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake is probably the most beautiful woman that was ever shot on film. She was about your height. I think she was like 5'2". She was very small, and absolutely stunning, but a nightmare to work with. Look up Veronica Lake if you don't know who it is. But she was so difficult to work with. She wasn't in a lot of films, but yeah, Sullivan's Travels. It was a really good movie. It's actually about how you get these egomaniac film directors who want to do political.
Wow.
Yeah, she's great, right?
And she looks like I don't want to mention it on the show, but I'll tell you later.
I can show you guys what Veronica Lake looks like. Hold on. Yeah, that's good. Let's see here. So that's Veronica Lake, one of the most beautiful women ever on film. Yeah, Sullivan's Travels. I know it's kind of a random thing to talk about, but it is relevant to politics because the movie Sullivan's Travels is about a director who just wants to do sort of like socially relevant films, important films that change the world. He was basically like, he wanted to be like a political activist using his films.
Mm-hmm.
But the producers that he was working with were like, no, just make comedies. Just make stuff that people like. Just make funny, stupid movies. And he's like, no, I want to make politically relevant, important films. And then he ends up going to prison for a crime he doesn't commit, I think, or some reason he goes to prison. And in the prison yard, there's all these like pathetic, just absolutely hopeless people who have been in prison for various reasons. And they get like a couple of hours off of work to go watch a movie, and it's one of his old comedies. And they're all just dying laughing, and they're just loving it. And he realizes in the movie, it's like a kind of bizarre film that Hollywood made about themselves. Like,
She's 4'11". She's not even my height.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. She was really tiny. Yeah.
What?
I did. Yeah. I said your height, but yeah, I didn't know exactly what her height was. She's very tiny. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So he goes ahead and he goes back to Hollywood after having seen the reaction that these very hopeless people have to this amazing comedy, and he says, actually, giving people a bit of happiness in a miserable day is better than trying to convince them, of my like social activism BS. And then he makes the decision to be a comedy filmmaker and to do the kind of films people want to see as opposed to the films that he wants them to see. And it's just a very interesting philosophical movie. Sullivan's Travels. Go ahead and watch it. If you can stand old movies, not everybody can stand old movies. Okay. What is the next super chat that we have? Oh no, what did he say? We didn't read his thing. He said.
We didn't read.
Did he say congrats on the Sunday show? Is that the one?
We stopped on his last name, and you reminded you.
Yeah, I went on my
this
tangent.
Movie and this girl. Okay.
Congrats on your Sunday show. Is that the comment?
Yes.
Do you want me to read it?
You can read it.
Okay. Congrats on your
Okay, I will read it.
I don't read as well.
Congrats on your Sunday show with Scott. The conversation was great. He did a good job in Baltimore.
He did a good job in Baltimore. Like I said before, guests are good for the show. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what. I actually like putting certain guests on because I think certain people's voices should be heard. Scott is an awesome guy, and I love doing the show with him. Yeah, historically, as I've done interviews with people, they haven't done well. Like people don't they don't get a lot of views, and I think that one was no exception. I think that one didn't do particularly well either. I can look right now. But yeah, I don't know. People don't watch my shows with interviews. Oh, it's on. Sorry, it's on. It was a live show. Yeah, 16.8. So 16,800 views. Did not do great. I mean, that's one of my worst ever performing videos. But I did put it on Easter. So, you know, what can you do? What can you do? And also, YouTube is really constricting my channel now, my Mr. Reagan channel. So I'm probably going to do a Mr. Reagan 2 channel. But yeah, thanks. I'm glad you liked that interview. I think people should watch Scott and know what he's doing and get involved and go to his website and donate to his causes. Yeah. I think he's great. He's doing great stuff. Shall we move on to the next comment?
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce the nickname. It's this one.
800,000 D. Dick Severin?
Yes.
Severin?
Yeah.
Oh, Kiwana Hurt, by the way, wrote, "Thanks for doing the live stream. I re-listened while I was at work the next day." Oh, that's cool. That's great. Do you want to read this Dick Severin?
If you don't come see me today, I can't save you any money. I can't save you any
Scott
money.
Thomason. Oh,
Just saw him
this person's from Oregon. This person
video last night.
This person's from Oregon. I think it was Scott Thomason. You're 100% right. Just saw him on a YouTube video last night. That is the guy. That's the guy that my mom used to say she was going to marry if Dad ever leaves. Let me see if I can get a picture of Scott Thomason for you guys. It's Scott Thomason Toyota, I think, in Oregon. Let's see here. Scott Thomason. Oh, yeah. This is the guy. Oh, man. This is too funny. Hold on. I can't quite find it. I think that's... No, I don't know why. There's not a lot of images. Maybe I wrote it wrong or something. Anyway. Scott Thomason Toyota. You guys should... I'm gonna play... You know what? I'm going to play an ad. I'm going to play a Scott Thomason ad. You guys are going to love this. This is the guy that my mom said she would marry if my father left her. Okay.
Where do you go to find the best selection of 1991 Toyota pickups? To the largest Toyota dealership in the Northwest, Thomason Toyota. Right now, we have the 4x4 extra cab pickups you've been looking for. They're hard to find, but at Thomason Toyota, we have over 75 in stock right now, starting at just $11,888. For your 1991 Toyota 4x4 pickup, come to Thomason Toyota, where we offer financing to anyone. Remember, if you don't come see me today, I can't save you any money.
McElroy.
Remember, if you don't come see me today, I can't save you any money. Friggin' hilarious. Anyway, Valeria's expression throughout that ad was golden. That was absolutely priceless. Gorgeous. You're just like this the whole time. That's the guy. Yeah, that's why it was funny. That's why it would always crack us up so much. But let's gonna leave and go be with that guy. Anyway, nothing against Scott Thomason. Awesome guy, very wealthy, did very well for himself, but you know, his ads were just very funny when I was growing up. Anyway, all right, you want to read anything else? Do we have anything else? Okay.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel?
There
you go.
Okay. Project Veritas vs. New York Times suit. The New York... Chris, can you read this?
Yeah. Project Veritas versus New York Times lawsuit. The New York Times defense is that their news is unverifiable, so they can't be sued for defamation. You'd enjoy the article. Yeah, no. I've read about this. I probably should have talked about it on the show earlier. It's something I've been following. I get the notifications from Bottle Cam Adam. He's fine. I get the notifications from Project Veritas. Aston, come on. What are you doing, buddy? Is the other cat out there, or what's going on? There you go. People always get nervous when I let him out there. They're like, "Don't let him out there. He's gonna jump." He hasn't jumped yet. But yeah, I mean, Nathaniel is right that this is a fascinating story. So, the New York Times actually tried to get the lawsuit dropped, but the judge was like, "No, we're not dropping this lawsuit. This is totally legitimate. You guys basically lied about Project Veritas, and now you got to pay the piper. You can't just slander people knowing that you're lying about them, right?" And it's pretty obvious that the New York Times is going to have to pay for this.
For your information, cat is not outside. That Chris just locked the door. He's inside.
Yeah, the cat didn't run out. He's right here. Their news is unverifiable. Well, what they used as a defense that I was reading about was one of their defenses was to say that quiet cat. One of their defenses was to say, what did they say? They said
Aston, stop.
I don't remember what the first thing I was going to say was, because the cat's distracting me. But the second thing, which I thought was even more egregious, was that they used Wikipedia as a source. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing. So they used Wikipedia as a source. They said Wikipedia said that Project Veritas is unreliable, and therefore it's okay if we say they're unreliable. Which is like, anybody can comment on Wikipedia. That's not a reliable source in any way whatsoever. If you don't like somebody, you can just write something nasty about them on Wikipedia. It's not a good source, first of all. The second thing that was kind of ridiculous about what they said was well, lots of different newspapers and lots of different places have slandered Project Veritas, and so they're I forget what word they used, but they said like they're unslanderable or something like that. You can't libel or you can't slander Project Veritas because they've been libeled and slandered so much by so many people that at this point, it's basically kind of common knowledge that they're horrible people, even if they aren't. It's been said so much. You want to just go get them? You want to just go put them in the bathroom? They've been slandered, and there's so much bad stuff has been said about them. How could we possibly have known whether or not they were bad people? Because everybody says they're bad people, as if that excuses it, right? It's like, well, all these people said they were bad, so of course we're going to say they're bad. It's like, no, you're the New York Times. You're not supposed to just say things without checking in on them. Like, you can't write a whole report about how somebody is awful based on other news agencies who have said the same thing. You have to actually go do the research and find out if that's true. Aston, what are you doing? You just trying to piss me off? No. Okay, you want to come up here?
We have one more super chat and we can be done.
All right. Read the other super chat.
Big fan. No, sorry. Let's fix this. Big fan of your work. Next time you visit Chicago, drinks are on me at Terrace 16 and Trump Tower.
Nice. We've actually been to Terrace 16 in Trump Tower. We didn't buy anything though. We just took pictures and then we left. I told Valeria I would buy her a drink.
No, we weren't hurried to the meeting.
We were in a hurry.
We were in a hurry. Take pictures and. Right.
I don't know. He's got a lot of energy now. He was sleeping the whole time. So, all right. Mark in Alberta writes, this weekend Toxic Masculinity live stream on WrestleMania. That's not true. That's not
there's one more super chat.
Let's see. Technosaurus writes, the nuclear family is great until it becomes super critical. Yeah. I think what he's saying is, I don't actually know what you're saying. I think, I don't really understand that expression, but okay. Let's see here. Mark in Alberta says they are seriously locking Alberta down again in the day before WrestleMania. I never got into the wrestling thing. My brother was really big into the wrestling thing.
Okay, our cat is going crazy.
Yeah, he is. Brett the Illustrator writes, "Glad I caught the whole show today. Great work." Thank you, Brett the Illustrator. He's in the comments often. I've responded to Brett the Illustrator. Cool guy. Oh, Brett the Illustrator, is that the guy that I showed his YouTube channel the other day?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Brett the Illustrator's YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Really good artist. The guy's a really good artist. He does some impressive stuff. Maria Delport says, "Chris, if you don't agree that the cops should stop restraining Floyd once he stopped resisting, when do you think cops usually stop?" Well, I'll tell you what. I think in an ordinary case, they certainly should have stopped restraining him once he stopped resisting. But the problem was that he was acting so erratically beforehand that it makes sense to me that in Chauvin's mind that maybe George Floyd was just pretending to stop resisting and he was just waiting for his moment to jump and to escape. That to me is a very plausible explanation as to why Chauvin continued to put his knee on his neck and restrain him even after he stopped resisting. And the other cops didn't seem concerned, right? You would have thought, if there was some sign that there was something bad happening, that the other cops would have said, "Okay, hey man, get off him." Yeah. Because I don't think that the cops were sitting there thinking like, "Okay, how do we murder this guy today?" I don't think that was anywhere in their thought process. I mean, maybe, but I think that's very, very highly unlikely. So I'm trying to come up with the most rational explanation as to what happened. I'm not necessarily trying to say these cops should or should not be convicted. I'm just looking at it as it is, and it seems to be obvious that what their frame of mind was. At least this is the way it seems to me, right? But no, I don't think in every instance should a cop, if a suspect stops resisting, should a cop continue to try to restrain them in a way that is very aggressive. But it's tough. I've seen videos of cops, trying to restrain a suspect, and they let their guard down for a second, and then the suspect steals their gun and shoots them. I mean, you've seen videos like this circulate on Twitter and stuff like that. It can get pretty brutal. So if a suspect has indicated that he's going to act erratically and he's going to try to escape and he's going to try to fight and resist arrest, in instances like those, it could become very dangerous for the police. So, I'm somewhat sympathetic to what the police did. It seems to me, Derek, that George Floyd died of a drug overdose, and it seems pretty cut and dried to me. I think that's gonna be how it's gonna turn out in the courts. Frank James says, "Bret the Hitman Hart, greatest of all time." He's a WrestleMania fans. Maxime Surratt writes, "Is it true that George Floyd asked Chauvin to stick with him?" Yeah, he did, actually. He was saying, "Can you sit with me?" Or something like that. Or maybe Chauvin said, I'll sit with you in the back," or something like that. There was some kind of communication to that. Watch the full video. I think I posted it on my channel with subtitles. I actually went through and listened to the entire conversation, and I posted it on my channel with subtitles. You have to do a little search on my channel, but you can see the whole thing with subtitles, and you can see exactly what he says. And it is pathetic, and it is, it's not enjoyable to watch, and it's not a nice situation, but that's why we have police officers, to deal with not nice situations. And the fact that he died of a drug overdose is a tragedy, like all drug overdoses, I guess. But you don't have to blame somebody always. Somebody isn't always guilty of other people's deaths, if they die from a drug overdose or an accident like that. He was just trying to deal with the situation as best he could, as far as I could tell. I'm talking about Chauvin now. Let's see here. Frank James says, "It's going to come down to this. Would Floyd be alive if Chauvin wasn't kneeing him on the neck? It will be negligence." I don't necessarily think so, because imagine if the drug overdose would have killed him, 99% chance it would have killed him, and then the knee on the neck was the extra 1%. But in a normal case, if he wasn't in danger of dying of a drug overdose, there would have been 0% chance that Chauvin would have killed him from the knee to the neck. So it only really it's only really a matter of, to me, Aston, It's only really a matter of, whether or not Chauvin had any idea that he was doing something that could have killed George Floyd. That's what matters to me, not really whether or not the knee to the neck contributed to the death in any way. I think it's whether or not Chauvin perceived that was true, and I don't think that he did. That's my guess. It would be very difficult to prove that. Megan Brown says, Chris, did you used to shop at Gilson Fred Meyer's in Portland, Oregon? Gilson, I don't know. I used to live on, what was the street that I lived on? I was in Northwest Portland, mostly. Really close to Northwest. I think it was 23rd Street. I think it has all the shops on it. 23rd, I think, is the street. And so there's a Fred Meyer there that I used to shop at. If that's Gilson, that's the one I shopped at. Let's see here. Maxim Serret writes, is it... Oh, no, we read that one. Let's see here. Mark in Alberta writes, everyone who is a conservative from Alberta likes wrestling. Maria Delport writes, thanks for your answer. I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with you in this instance. Most of the conservative commentary this, actually. I don't quite know what your last sentence meant, but yeah, I mean, this is something we can all disagree on. They're going to go through the trial. We're going to get more data. We're going to get more idea about the specifics about this. To me, I'm pretty sympathetic to these cops. George Floyd was on 3 times the lethal dose of fentanyl. I think that makes it a pretty cut and dried situation here. Or do we have the cat on screen? Is that what we're doing here? Uh-oh. Let's see here. Hey, Aston. What are you doing, little buddy? Oh, look at him. He's all chilled now. You have to move the camera down if you want to end the show on a shot of Aston. Hey, buddy. All right, so there's the cat, and that is the end of the show. You want to say goodbye, darling?
Good night.
Good night. All right, and that's it for us. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, this is the least professional show on YouTube. I am Toxic. She is Masculine, and together we are Toxic Masculinity. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Say bye, Aston. Or just sit there quietly. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Toxic Masculinity.